Mexican honeypot ant, the living reservoir. Its body swells until movement becomes impossible, not from disease, from duty. Chosen by the colony, this ant is fed relentlessly, sugar, nectar, liquid energy poured into its body until the abdomen inflates like fragile glass. Veins stretch, tissue thins, gravity becomes an enemy. When it can no longer walk, it climbs, upward, into the ceiling of the nest. There it hangs, alive, aware, motionless, a living pantry suspended in darkness. When famine arrives, workers don't ask. They tap its mouth parts and drink, slowly, carefully, repeatedly. It does not resist. It does not escape. It was never meant to. This isn't cooperation. This is biological surrender. The colony survives because one body agreed to stop being a life and became a container. Australian honeypot ant, desert storage. The Australian desert punishes mistakes instantly. Food is rare, heat kills movement, and wandering burns calories faster than they can be replaced. So these ants chose stillness. Repletes grow massive beneath the earth, translucent and glowing amber under the soil. Their bodies shimmer with stored sunlight, turn sugar. They will never forage again. They will never feel wind. They will never see daylight. Their entire existence is preparation for disaster. Predators don't hunt them, but drought hunts everyone. When the repletes empty too soon, the colony doesn't adapt. It ends. Californian honeypot ant, energy accountants. These ants don't behave like animals, they behave like systems. Every foraging trip happens at night. Every step avoids heat. Every drop of nectar is calculated, not consumed. Energy flows inward, not outward. Repletes act like vaults. Sugar is deposited, withdrawals are controlled. There is no panic, no wasted aggression, just balance. They prove something uncomfortable. Dominance doesn't always roar. Sometimes it survives quietly while louder species collapse. African honeypot ant, the abandoned savings. In Africa's brutal heat, storage means depth. Repletes are hidden far underground where temperature barely changes. They are the colony's insurance policy, its future, its memory of better days. But when danger arrives, flood, predator, collapse, these ants don't fight to protect them. They seal tunnels. They reroute survivors. They abandon the storage. The repletes are left behind, alive, full, forgotten. Evolution offers no sentiment. Sometimes survival means walking away from the very thing that kept you alive. South American honeypot ant, sweet violence. These ants don't wait for sweetness. They take it. They raid aphid colonies aggressively, extracting sugar with force, converting stolen energy into internal reserves. Compared to other honeypots, they are more territorial, more reactive, more willing to bite. Food is power. Power attracts enemies, so these ants fight harder than most honeypots ever need to. Sweetness becomes conflict. Conflict becomes survival. Middle Eastern honeypot ant, patience made flesh. In regions where seasons betray prediction, panic kills faster than hunger. These ants inflate repletes slowly, carefully, never beyond safe thresholds. Storage happens months before disaster, not days. When famine arrives, there is no chaos, no scrambling, only execution. Their weakness isn't hunger, it's sudden destruction. Planning only works if the ground stays stable. Arizona honeypot ant, pressure casualties. Some repletes grow too full. Their abdomens stretch beyond structural tolerance. One vibration, one collapse, one careless movement, they rupture. Death is instant. The colony does not pause, does not mourn, because starvation would kill everyone. Nature made the calculation and chose the explosion. Texas honeypot ant, owned bodies. Once an ant becomes a replete, individuality ends. It does not decide when to eat. It does not decide when to give. Workers drink from it repeatedly, weakening it, draining it, sometimes until it dies. There is no rebellion. There is no resistance. This is not cruelty. This is biology without morality. The system survives because the self does not. Sahara honeypot ant, heat lockdown. In the Sahara, movement is exposure. These ants rarely leave their nests at all. Survival depends almost entirely on internal reserves. Repletes become sacred infrastructure. Entire tunnel networks exist to protect them. When one is lost, the colony doesn't panic emotionally. It fractures structurally because the future just leaked into the sand. Mongolian steppe honeypot ant, cold storage. Survival isn't always about heat. In freezing environments, honeypot ants store energy to endure months of immobility. Repletes slow their metabolism until life becomes barely detectable. No movement, no growth, just waiting. Winter isn't starvation, it's a patience test. Neotropical canopy, honeypot ant, vertical storage. Some honeypot ants live above ground, in trees. Their repletes cling upside down inside hollow branches. Gravity pulls constantly at their swollen bodies. One slip means rupture. They store food not because famine is guaranteed, but because falling means death. Island. Honeypot ant. Genetic dead ends. On isolated islands, some honeypot ants evolved too far. Repletes grew larger. Storage became excessive. Mobility vanished. Predators learned. Colonies were erased. Evolution corrected the mistake. Efficiency without flexibility doesn't survive. Extinct giant honeypot ant. Evolution's correction. Fossils suggest ancient honeypot ants once grew far larger than any alive today. Their storage capacity was immense, so was their visibility. Predators found them easily. Colonies vanished quickly. Evolution trimmed the excess. Bigger storage meant bigger risk. Honeypot ants don't dominate ecosystems. They don't terrorize prey. They don't inspire fear. They do something worse. They reveal how survival really works. Not through heroism, not through strength, through systems that decide who gets to be alive and who gets to be useful. So ask yourself this: which honeypot ant disturbed you the most? The one that never walks again? The one that burst under pressure? Or the one abandoned underground so others could live? Tell me in the comments. Subscribe. Because what comes next doesn't just explain animals. It exposes the price of survival.